It's one thing for a man to admit that he's injured, admit that he's weak. But when you actually work on rehabbing and strengthening that area and it keeps coming back, there's a reason for that, and I don't think enough people pay attention to the exact reason why this happens. This video, I'm going to be talking about why it happens, and to some of your surprised faces, I'm not going to be talking about the tactics. I'm not going to be talking about specific exercises or getting 8 hours sleep or taking a certain supplement. I'm going to be talking about something else as to why you keep falling back into this state. The reason I'm qualified to talk about this is I was a former paratrooper and special forces support group operator. I worked in the gym. I trained the strength of the joints of the blokes in the units in which I worked in as a physical training instructor. But now I also train blokes online on my program, the longevity program, in which people come to me with the intention to strengthen their joints and build resilient joints to improve their longevity in martial arts, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, rock climbing, sprinting, football, and all sorts of other sporting backgrounds, right? So, these are all physical problems that are solved with a mindset, a character solution, right? So first and foremost, you have to be aware of the root cause, right? The root cause issue to you being injured is you just looking in the mirror and going, why am I injured, right? You need to fully understand that you are exactly where you are in life as a direct result of your mindset and your beliefs. How you think and problem solve every single day and every single day prior to today has got you exactly where you currently are. So, 1.0 habits are the tactics in which you live your week by, you live your day by, your mindset and your beliefs. If you're a jiu-jitsu athlete on my channel, your mindset and beliefs might be one that thinks technique is the priority, don't need to strength train. Habits, doing jiu-jitsu as much as possible, eating shit food, staying up late, playing online games, smoking weed, drinking alcohol on the weekend. These are all your habits and things that you do on a regular basis. And we can laugh about it. Do you know what I mean? We can laugh about it. But these are the habits, and these are the reason when you look in the mirror and when you look at your body, everything that you do and how you think and problem solve, your mindset and beliefs are exactly why you are exactly where you're at in life. So, when you get to a certain level of suffering in your life and you're like, right, enough's enough. January, Monday, all that shit attitude. Like, why would you ever wait to January to sort your life out, you absolute lunatics? Anyway, stop being a pussy and just start today. I'm hoping this video gives you a kick up the arse. When you are at a certain point of suffering, you will clap your hands together and go, right, I'm going to add some tactics and habits into my life. I'm going to start going, you know what, I'm going to eat healthy, right? There's one. Hey up, it's not one at all. Okay? I'm going to go, so eating. These are all habits. Remember this, habits. G for gym. I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to start eating healthy. I'm going to start taking supplements. I'm going to start walking. Yeah. I'm going to start not drinking. So A, and I'm going to cross that out. Notice how, in this scenario, the person that doesn't believe that strength training is very useful, that doesn't believe that they need to get strong joints, that, you know, is very negative with regards to their outlook on life. They're thinking that their genetics are fixed and they can't change their genetics. They think that they have a slow metabolism. That person that believes all of these things to be true has just then added all of these habits into his life. So you have the 2.0 habits, which is great, by the way, fair play to you, but you have the 1.0 mindset and beliefs. You have the 1.0 mindset and beliefs, and the person that has the 1.0 mindset and beliefs is somebody that always says yes to things. People that distract you from your mission in achieving this goal, you'll be like, it's all right. What's one night off? What's one cheat meal? People with 1.0 mindset and beliefs are people that think that eating healthy, nutritious, nutrient-dense foods is a diet. That is a 1.0 mindset and belief. Do you know what I mean? So, we've established that the habits, the training, right? You're injured, because we're talking specifically about injuries in this video. You've started training, you've started eating better to reduce the inflammation. You're training great, you've got a coach, you've got a physiotherapist to give you some expert assistance. And you've still got the mindset and beliefs of old. You're still like, oh my God, I've got a little bit stronger. I've lost a little bit of weight. This is great. But now I'm in the middle, right? And this is a very dangerous place to be. I call this the grey area. This is where people are pain free, right? And what happens when you're pain free? You go, hey, I have fucking made it. I'm a superhero. I am Wolverine. I have recovered my injury. Blah, 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 blah. I've made it, essentially. And then you end up back over here. And then you end up back here with the injury. With the injury that you believe is fixed. You end up back here. Straight back there. You've worked all really hard to get pain-free. And all of a sudden, you're just like, sound. Because you never believed. You never believed that you were beyond this. You never believed you were beyond the previous version of yourself psychologically. So you've added the habits in, you've got pain-free, which is proof of concept that what you did worked, but you didn't keep doing it to build strength and resilience of your joint. You got pain-free and completely sacked it all off and went back to your old weird ways. Does that sound like you? Because when you go back to here, you then go, oh my God, my elbow hurts again, or my shoulder hurts again. You end up back there. You know what to do because you've trained. You know how you've reduced pain. You've went and got physio acupuncture, right? You've got pain-free again. And you've sacked it all off again. And then you try something else, stem cell, then surgery, then it's medication, then it's this. And you're constantly battling from pain-free to the same injury. And then it might change injury as well. The injury might change. Right, it's now a knee injury. Sound. Pain-free. Do some exercises. Train. Get stronger. Fall back. Because you never believed that you deserved more. You never believed that you have the potential to be an absolute athlete. You never believed it. You always thought that you were a worthless piece of shit that couldn't achieve more than just getting pain-free, then falling back into old ways. It's an awful reality, but it is the absolute truth. Because how many of you have had a shoulder injury, got it pain-free, and then back to square one, back to living your life? You've gained all that weight, you've lost all that strength, then the shoulder injury comes back. And then you do the exercises again, probably try a different method. And then you're pointing the finger. It gets to a point where this process repeats itself, and you're pointing the finger at the system for being shit. This physio's not very good, he doesn't do acupuncture, stem cells are shit, peptides are shit, TRT is shit, marijuana is shit. Point. And in none of this process have you pointed the finger at yourself. The reason you are there is because of this here. And the more you go through this process of getting pain-free and then sacking it off, going back to old ways, it just layers and layers and layers and layers of experience, reps that just infest your mind and just become your reality. Your reality is a constant battle from not being in pain, then being injured, being pain-free, and then being injured, then being pain-free, then being injured. Your reality, you do not deserve any more than that. And it's a very, very sad state of affairs. But now you have the awareness of the root cause. You are exactly where you deserve to be, right? So the solution, the start of the solution is this. Having full clarity as to why. Full clarity being, you are a man that has adopted 2.0 habits. Strength training, you've started lifting to strengthen your joints. You've felt the fruits of that. You get to a point where you are pain-free. You're eating healthy. You've lost a little bit of weight. The tactics have worked a little bit. However, the tactics do not get you to the finish line and beyond, because you have maintained the old beliefs in which your head, in which you had, and the old mindset. If you're living a life thinking these results are great, as soon as you get pain-free, happy days, back to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu normal, it's like, And I touched on how huge of a problem it is. It's a huge problem because your beliefs today are from the reason you have the same beliefs is because you've been infected by, let's say I say infected, it's a bit of a harsh word, but it's just layers and layers and layers of you problem solving for the past decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades. But it's also, extra layers onto that, is what your friends constantly say to you, what your family constantly say to you. It's a very, very tricky problem, right? And it is easy to change. Usually, the most powerful thing you can do is just do this. Just say no. Just say no more. Pretty simple. However, I'm going to give you a lot more clarity on that. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is identify the 2 point. This is the deficit, yeah? So you need to identify what you need in order to have a 2.0 mindset and belief system. So you've got the habits, right? So, you're like, all right, I need to strength train, I need to strengthen my knees because my knees are in shit state. What do I need to do to be a person in 12 months' time that has physically robust knees, not just knees, shoulders, lower back, and I'm actually in the best shape I've been in for the past decade? What do I need to do in order to achieve that? So this is when you start to identify the mindset and beliefs, right? So what you have to do is goal. So G, what is your physical gold standard goal for the next 12 months, right? Do that. Write down the answer as specifically as possible. The next thing, CT. What are the character traits, if you visualize you've achieved that, what are the character traits associated with the man that has achieved this goal? The next thing, how does this man live his day? Excuse my writing. I'm actually a left-hander and I'm writing with my mouse in my right hand. Cool story, bro. How does he live his day? Next thing. A. What does he tell himself every day? Listen, the reason you believe what you believe today is a result of what you tell yourself. So, if you constantly poison your mind with 1.0 mindset and beliefs like, strength doesn't matter, I can't be arsed going to the gym, I want to play games till 3 a.m, porn is amazing, marijuana's amazing, alcohol's amazing. If you constantly poison this cake won't hurt, it didn't hurt anyone, or cheat meal, or I'm on a diet, all of these things, if you constantly tell yourself these things, then it is equally as easy to tell yourself a 2.0 mindset and belief. I'm going to give you some examples, don't worry. Just check my next slide. Hopefully you appreciate the fact that if you're doing things wrong now, very easy to change. Remember, what is your ultimate physical goal for the next 12 months? What are the character traits that you need to have to achieve that goal? How do you need to live your day in order to achieve that goal? What do you tell yourself every single day? And the longer you do this, the more you become, with the habits, mindset, and beliefs, together, starting to make sense now. So you need to embed this into your daily thinking, yeah? Because this is the deficit. Think about it. You're getting to the point where your knee is now pain-free. And you're thinking, oh my God, this strength training, it worked. It worked. The problem is that you will get physical results faster than you will get results upstairs. So your body will go on this trajectory and your mind will stay in the cesspit down here. The mind will drag you back down off that cliff. And it's just the way it is. Right, so what do you need to do? You need to basically do what I've said there, but you need to have things that you tell yourself every day. I'm going to call it AF, right? And these need to be positive, right? Because, and it's things like, for example, I am an optimistic man. I am a confident man. I want to be the best role model for my family. And literally, it's just a case of every morning you say this. 5 to 8 things, right? The less, but the very specific, the better. And again, you might laugh at how pathetic this is, but you're doing the opposite. You're telling yourself that you're a shit father every day. You're telling yourself that it's okay to lead your family into eating shit food every day. It's fine to give your kids a can of Coke. It is fine to give your kids sweets. You are literally doing this, but an unhealthy version of this every day. You're doing it without realizing, and what I call this is passive habits. The root of all evil. You don't even realize you're doing it. So, this is what I'm saying. Because you're doing it passively, you can very easily do this actively, right? And we're going to go into, you need to tell yourself. But we're going to lay this one more time, and then I'm going to send you on your way because it's unreal. 1.0 habit. Don't strength train. Point the finger at everybody. It's everybody else's fault. It's the physio's fault. It's the health service's fault. It was somebody else's fault that I got injured. It wasn't to the detriment of me only sleeping 5 hours a night. Like all of these things, all of these belief systems, pointing the finger, being unhealthy, being overweight, not being strong. These are all this gremlin here, right? And this person is you. This is what you are. If you could encapsulate your mentality in a picture, it's this, right? But the route out of this is, the 2.0 habits. You can go on ChatGPT. You can do whatever you need to do to find the tactics. YouTube is amazing for the tactics. My channel used to be amazing for the tactics until I thought, okay, I'm actually training these blokes on a one-on-one basis. How can I be better to get them better results? Because I was starting to get pissed off that people would jump on my program for 12 weeks and fuck off and fall back to the same injuries. I'm like, what the fuck, right? So we started working on the most important thing first. And it's not habits, it's the mindset and beliefs. So, when you live like the 2.0 version of yourself, and I'm starting the collection, the habits, the mindset, and the beliefs, together for 24 hours, you move one step in this direction. And you leave behind The 1.0 version of yourself, you leave behind, and I'm saying everything collectively together. You doing what the 2.0 version of yourself does every day. You understand and appreciate the character traits of the 2.0 version of yourself. You do the daily affirmations, 5 of them. I'm an optimistic person. I'm going to be fucking amazing in 12 months' time. I'm going to have strong, resilient joints. I'm going to be a great role model for my family. And I'm going to eat nutrient-dense foods. Like, do you know what I mean? You're doing that, but the opposite. You're saying, I can't wait to have a fucking pizza later on. I can't wait to watch porn later on. Who does that? Do you know what I mean? But you're doing it. So you can do the 2.0 version very easily too. And that's the beauty of this. Because it's mindset, it's just like a switch from toxic and negative to ridiculously productive. Paired with the strength training, the nutrient-dense foods, the sleeping, the walking, the jiu-jitsu, right? And every time you do 24 hours, smash. But you understand now this is a more holistic approach. You're doing the physical habits, but you're also doing the mindset as well. You're doing the mindset habits, the belief habits. You're now problem solving like the 2.0 version of yourself. You're now problem solving like an athlete. You're living and breathing like an athlete, and you've got the tactics there as well. Hopefully you can understand how 24 hours you start leaving this person behind. However, if you fall off the bandwagon and start thinking like that old version of you, that old person that needs to die, that old horrible creature starts infecting your mind again, he starts to catch up. Whenever you fall off the bandwagon, he will catch up. And he will keep catching up until he is you. These noises in your head, they never disappear. Never disappear. Like, I'm literally walking past bars and nightclubs in Brazil, and I'm seeing people drinking booze, and I'm looking and I'm like, obviously, I'd love to go in there and have a beer, and no, I won't. No. I don't want to feel like fucking shit. Why would I want to feel like shit? But I have the discipline to say no, because I know for a fact it'll make me feel like shit, and it's not aligned with my goals. So, again, every time you think, believe, problem solve, and have the habits of the 2.0 version of yourself, which is aligned with that 12-month mission, you continue to take steps forward, and you leave this horrible bastard in the fucking distance. However, people get pain-free on this mission, and because they're pain-free, they were like, that is the end goal. And they go back to this fucker again. Back to the creature. The one who has all the excuses. I don't have the time. You know, it's just the way, I'm just getting old. It's just the nature of the beast. It's just the martial art. It's not the martial art. It is you. You control the outcome. You control your reality. Hopefully you appreciate that lecture. The nutshell moment is character, right? The reason we are exactly where we are in life is because of how we think and how we problem solve up until this exact point. And as I said earlier on, this is what I do with the guys on my program. Exactly what I do. And we just use the physical injury as a means to develop character, because character is the final boss. It's not the injury. The injury is a nice to have. Getting over an injury is a nice to have. It's great for your quality of life. But the real beauty is building character, because when you build a character that is ridiculously strong and mentally resilient, any injury will be like, all right. And that is the goal of the longevity program. If you're interested in the longevity program, the link is in the description. Book on a call with me and see if you're a good fit. If not, I'll see you tomorrow.